everyone. We're back again. Let's go on. Eric, Marcella, and Tish. How y'all doing?
Good.
We
How are
good. We
you?
good.
Good.
All right, look, I know we've been on a break for quite some time, so we're back. Off of
Yes.
vacation for some of us from working hard. So today's topic is personality versus character. Um, I guess we need to define both of those. When you talk about someone's personality, we'll start, Marcel. We'll start with you, and then go Eric. Then, what's the definition of a personality?
To me, of your personality is based on it's like how you treat someone, who you are as an individual. You can be loving and caring, and you want me to just do the personality part?
Yo, do just do
Oh,
personality for right
okay,
now.
yeah. It's to me, it's based on how you treat people, your qualities, and who you are as an individual.
Okay, Eric, what's your definition of a personality?
The definition for me is personality is who you are. Is what people see when they is the first thing they see when you show up. Okay, that's Tisha. That's Eric. That's Mario. That's Marcel. That's your personality.
Okay, what's your definition?
It's the thing that makes us unique. It's the thing that separates us from everybody. Like Eric said, the first thing people see, my personality. Whether you're talkative, shy, introvert, extrovert, all that stuff falls in your personality.
Hmm.
Okay. See, to me, personality is just like you said, it's your identification, who you are, what you're about, and it's a
Yes,
combination of everything that makes you into the person that you are. Um,
yes,
Character is part of that, but it's not. It's like that's what the thing is. It's part of that, but it's not the definition of your personality.
Mm.
All right. So what is? So let's go around. It's like character. When we talk about character, Marcella, what does that mean to you?
it's what you choose to be, who you really are. I mean, at the moment, huh?
You stole it.
Oh, what you choose to be and who you are at that moment. Your character also defines whenever no one is watching. You know what I'm saying? So, character is definitely and character and personality can go hand in hand if both of them coincide. But sometimes personality. I mean, I'm sorry, your character can be a little more harsh and fake than your personality.
Okay,
Okay.
Eric.
Character is who you really are. The character, your personality is what people see when they see you. Your character is who you really are inside. Character defines the inside. Personality defines the outside. Now, there has, just like everything else, there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance. If one of them is overruled the other one, then that could be a problem. That's where you end up calling people fake. You laugh in my face, and then when I'm gone, your character shows, and you talk about me. You see what they had on, blah blah. I mean, that's what it means to me. Character is who you really are, and there has to be a balance.
Okay, Tisha, what's your definition of character?
Character is your foundation. So it's what you're working on every day, because character is about the lessons that you get from life. How do you apply them? How do you learn from your mistakes? How do you learn from other people's mistakes? um, are you honest? Your integrity lies within your character. The personality is what you see, the character is who you are.
Right?
Yeah.
So and
Preach.
you can't hide from the personality. It can be very good, it'll get you in the door, but the character is what keeps you there.
Mm-hmm.
Or push you out.
Whichever way you want to look at it, you can be
Whichever way you
evicted.
want to look at it.
Look, evicted, convicted, destroyed,
Yeah.
or happy, depending on
Yes.
which way you go with the lessons with your character.
Yes.
Because you
But what
learn
you
most
are.
of your character lessons through tough times or just life in and of itself. Um, I heard someone say that character is not a spiritual gift. Character has to be forged. It has to be a part of your journey, whether whatever your spirituality is
Yeah.
or whatever you believe in. That's how you forge your character, through your belief system, whether it be in God, the universe, everybody believing in all kinds of different things, but it's not one of those gifts that you're born with. It has to be forged daily.
Good evening, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Mhm.
To me, character is a reflection of your soul.
Ooh.
Character is it defines, it's your actions of who you are, your inner person.
Yes.
Because the way you act, your actions speak louder than your words. Your
Yes.
personality may be what someone may see, but your actual character is your actions of what's really going on inside you.
Mm-hmm. And I think also too, like, just for instance, like let someone either get you mad, or you can't have your way with them, or you might not agree. Oh, that character is definitely coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's different things that can trigger your personality or your character. But like you said, personality is who you are. It's like that's who you are. But your character is gonna show. You know what I'm saying? And then like you said,
Right.
once it show up and show out, then it's like, I think a lot of times, man, Tisha talked about this. We talk a lot on the phone. We talked about this. We was like, it's amazing how we stayed around and stayed in relationships longer than we should have, because we didn't know how to distinguish between the personality and the character. And I think the personality is what really kept us there. You understand what I'm saying? But once we knew that there was a difference, we was like, oh my God, I get it now. Because growing up and having friends, or even some of your family members, stuff like that, we just thought that however that person was, that's what it was. We didn't distinguish between personality and character. We just thought that that's how they were. And so now that as we got older and we got wiser and start looking at different things, now we know that there is a difference between the personality and the character.
I think where I would go wrong is I would combine them together. And so it wasn't probably until about maybe 2 months ago that I heard someone speaking about them being separate. And so for me, what I would find is, especially with dating, I would, like a person's personality, get into the dating, and then understand their character, and like, oh no, I don't, this isn't what I signed up for. And that's what made me start realizing too that they're two separate things, because I heard someone use the metaphor that celebrities, people, athletic people, if you notice, after seasons of them being in, once they get the money, they start getting in trouble. So we look at their skill as their character, but that's not their character. That's their skill. That's their personality.
That's the personality.
So, right. They've developed a skill, a personality to get them into the NBA, to get them into the NFL. But who was forging or growing the character part of them so that they can stay humble when they're in those positions? So you notice those people get in these, start making all this money and end up in all this silly trouble over stuff. And we're like, why would you do? Because their character wasn't being built. Their personality, their skills were being worked on, but who's working on the character? You see what I mean? So, and that was, to me, that like brought it home for, wow, that goes back to money can't buy happiness. If you notice, when your character is solid, you're more peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because for me, now I'm just going to talk about my character and how it's been forged. It's been my relationship with God. So my character and the accountability there has been what's forged and grew my character to be a better person, and not just a great personality.
Right.
And so you'll start seeing too, a lot of people lack character. So when you have character, they're constantly questioning your character because they don't have character.
Yes.
They just have personality. So I realized that having both is a gift.
Yes,
that's true. That is so true.
There has to be a balance. I'm glad you said that about the sports. What we see on the outside is, I can't believe Mario squandered $100 million. Why did he hold out and try to go to the net? It's not their personality, their character. They don't have anybody supporting their character to let them know, no, you play until you get that other contract. You don't stop playing, because if you stop playing, you stop getting paid. And if you start getting paid, you become a hindrance. You become a hindrance, you're out of a job. Mm-hmm. That's why you see him now. I made $80 million so far in the league, and now I'm jobless. It's character. Nobody works on character. They think that personality is going to get you everywhere. You need both of them. It has to be a balance. And you would think that people that come from certain walks of life will see that. But no, all they taught is play basketball, play football, and everything will fall into place. Nobody is saying, okay, all right, well, you need to be humble. Know where you came from, know how you get there, and know there's a life outside of it. That's why you see so many of them that have made millions of dollars and now broke. Mm-hmm. That's because they didn't forge their character.
Or in trouble.
Mm-hmm. It's
their character. Their character, because they don't know. All people saw them was a money-making opportunity.
Yep.
And so they didn't see,
right.
And you're turning your kids over to these people, and it's your responsibility. No different than when we send our kids to school. We have to forge our children's character. They're just giving our kids a skill. Now, where we got to be careful is when they're in school, who are they spending the vast majority of their time with?
Their peers and stuff. So
their teachers. And that's why it's so important for us at home to be a good steward over our character, so that we can develop good character within our children. Because I hear everybody talking about this, complaining about the younger generation, but what seeds are we sowing? Because a lot of people in our generation have very bad character, and they've been thriving off of personality. Yeah.
And I believe that's the whole scenario. Is a person's character are results of what type of impacts they've had in their life. They might have had a perfect personality, but because of some of the things that they were exposed to in life, it shaped their character into something different. And you see that a lot when it comes to church folk. You'll see they have in their personality to be this humble servant to God. But when they deal with people, the character of who they are comes out. So it's kind of like, it's almost like a flip-flop, like a split personality in some cases. Because when you walk, like I said, if you walk a certain path, then your character and your personality are perfectly aligned together. But if you're living a double life, let's say if you're putting a false pretense, you can see it, because a person's character it kind of like shows what's really going on in your soul, which is a direct reflection on your personality. And that's one of those things to where, like what we're saying with the younger generation is a good example. As like, let's say for example, you take the music in itself speaks volumes on where we're going at with this next generation. It's not only does it talk about their personality, but it reflects their character. Once upon a time, we knew it was just one of those things. We knew we could not play music that had cuss words in it.
Yep.
Now that doesn't even matter anymore. Kids will sit there now and play music in public, even in some cases, even come request to play the music, knowing it's not appropriate to be played. But to them, they don't see a problem with it because it's become a norm.
Yep.
So that's just one of those things to where the world is changing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's always going to change. There's going to be some good things, there's going to be some bad things, but that characteristics of a person is a reflection of what the world that we have today, or what they've been exposed to in the world.
Yep. That's why it starts at home. That's why we have to be.
Look at violence. I mean, you look at some of the movies. Right. Well, so the thing is, we can be the example, but there's too many with technology. There's too many bad examples out there. There's so much so much bad things out there that just doing the right thing is not enough. Setting the
because,
example is not enough.
Yeah, because I always tell my children and other people, kids, I said that even though you can come from a household that has good raising, teacher, everything, but we have to learn, like you just said, Mario, on piggyback that we have to learn that we're not our children's only influence. You understand what I'm saying? Because like you said, when they're in school,
Right.
and the majority of the time during the day, they're in school around their peers and their teachers and stuff like that. And even though, you instill and you have this good foundation and you set rules, stuff like that. Now that we're in the world, because we're different. We're in the world now with their social media, their social media. And so, and sometimes it's not that the parents didn't raise those children to be good kids. It's just that once they become a certain age, their personality and character, they decide to choose that. You know what I'm saying? They decide to choose, that.
Right.
And so that's why I always tell, my grandson, I'm like, we have been an example for you. And so when you go outside those doors, always take what you learned from home with you and stuff like that. But we're not going to always be around them all times to see, how they act or if they're going to do the right thing. You just hope and pray that they do the right thing, So.
Right.
Be that light.
Let's take Right. So let's take another example. Let's say, remember back in the days when we were growing up, if you was a child of a pastor, you was one of the wildest children in the world.
Yes.
Because of how strict things were.
I know some of those.
Yes.
So it's like they get out there and they get crazy. Huh?
Nothing's changed about that. The difference is now, so just so we're clear, now a lot of and that's why I don't, people jump on to pastors, ministers, stuff like that for having a life. My thing is I like the way they are now than the way they were before. At least now you have people being their authentic self. Right. And right, because before it was don't listen to this music and everything you do was done in secrecy. I think I love the narrative now of when we talk about the music. Our music was nasty. I mean, last night I messed around in my step class and put on an unedited some song, and boy, all I heard about was boobies and butts and I was like, wait a minute, I ain't never heard the uncut version of this song. This was in my era. How dare I speak about these children and their music? This was way worse than any something I done heard recently. I mean, so I think what happens is where we are now is people don't have to hide. And that's about character, because when I can remember, me, church, and that's why I say let's separate religion from God, because your relationship with God has nothing to do with religion. A lot of these rules were religious rules, man-made rules, people, and I see people are straying away from that because they're developing their own character within God for themselves. So now I do see an evolution coming clearly, and this younger generation, they ain't gonna let you get away with that bull crap. They're not even gonna work a job where they get mistreated any kind of way. Bump that. They ain't staying nowhere. You raise your voice wrong, you side-eye them wrong, they serving you the benediction. They not doing look, they telling you real quick, no, I have rights. And whether we like it or not, they are protecting their peace. They're trying to make sure that they stay healthy mentally, whether we agree with it or not. What they're doing is what we should have been doing, which is not putting up with the abuse of power. And so what I will say that I respect and really admire with this generation is they don't mind losing everything. They like, bump that. I don't care. You're not going to have me around here in the crazy house. I mean, they'll tell you real quick. Now, to me, they give up real quick, and it can be a little scary. But if you think about it, we've created that within them. Our complaining, us saying what we were they were listening. And this generation is saying, no, you die tomorrow, they're going to replace your position faster than you're dead. So why should I stay here and get mistreated? So it's forcing even businesses to create a different culture. They're causing it diversity and inclusion, but we really know what it is, right?
Mhm.
Right. Well, we're no longer being handicapped. And I think that's one of the biggest
Right.
things is that um, in society in the past we were handicapped to a certain degree, and now you got to step up and be your own person. You can't rely
Mhm.
on certain things that you can't play a certain card like racism. That no longer holds water anymore. You can't use that, oh, I'm black, so no, you can't say that. You can't say I'm white. You can't say color doesn't exist anymore. If you don't perform, I don't care what color you are, you're not getting a job. So those characteristics are changing to where you as a person, your personality and your character are you're now being judged for that versus the color of your skin. Don't get me wrong, it's not completely
Oh
like
yeah,
that, but that's what the world is changing to is now you're going to be accountable for your actions and who you are versus being
Your
prejudged because of the color.
personality. Right.
Yeah.
Because your
So
personality and your
Right.
color, your skin, and all that kind of go hand in hand. Because if you got the right personality and the right color, then you are automatic, during our times to get whatever. Now it's a whole lot of other factors to it in your character because the remote work environment or the hybrid positions created where you have to have good character too, because it's nobody's directly supervising you all day. And if you don't have good character, then you're not going to be able to keep your job because you're not going to be doing the right thing. Your work is not going to get done, you know. So you might be at home, but you still got to have good character at home. That's why a lot of people that thrive off of personality can't work remote because they got to be socializing. They got to be out and about with people. They feel
always
like,
got to be seen and heard.
right. Remember the personality person and because people thought, and I'm not going to lie, for years, I thrived off of my personality. And then I started realizing that, wait a minute, I got good character too. Let me work on that as well in the background. And I think, Marcella, you said it earlier, when you've worked on your character, you're not triggered into anger as fast because it's not an insult to you because that's not who you are. So you don't take offense as fast as you would if you were just thriving off a personality.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It goes back to trying to have a conversation with someone that that you already know where the conversation is going to go, but it's just that dealing with my personality and my character with this person, I can be more patient because I already know what I am and who I am as an individual. But a person that has a messed up character, it's nothing that you can tell them. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to tell me anything.
Mm-mm.
And so how you gonna tell me da 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 da? You know what I'm saying? But
Because
yeah,
the key word is, like we're saying, you got to want to change your character.
Yeah.
You got to see a flaw in yourself and you got to hold yourself. Because, see, that's not even about other people holding you accountable. That's
No.
about you holding yourself accountable, not to be two-faced, not to be backstabbing, not to be conniving, and to work on your insecurities. Because you can have the best personality in the world, but those insecurities will manifest themselves quickly, like you said earlier, when someone tells them no, or if they don't agree with the way someone else handles it. Character causes you to, or forces you to, respect other people and their decisions.
Right.
So we don't have to agree on everything, but I respect you, Mario. I respect you, Eric. I respect you, Marcella. So whether we ever agree on anything else or not, based on your character, I respect you.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, like for example, a young lady, she's a singer. Her mother is one of the Clark sisters, and she just recently got married and stuff. And so she said that she didn't want any
Mm-hmm.
staying in her house around her husband. So then that became a big issue with other people that felt like she was insecure or there was trust issues. Why does it have to be that? You understand what I'm saying? because the devil already says that you don't give, and you have to know who your audience is anyway. Because I feel like this, any woman that says that about another woman, that if you're supposed to be my friend, and you say that I'm insecure or there's a trust issue, then now I got to question who you really are. Because first of all, why would you even come out your mouth and say that? You see what I'm saying? So their character really showed for them. It's like, oh, she's insecure, or why? If those are her rules, if she don't want any single women or friends or whatever around her husband, that's her right. So why question that? You understand what I'm saying? Why question that? Sometimes we have to look at the person that disagrees with principles that make sense. You understand what I'm saying? We have to look at that person and like, oh, okay, so now your character is really showing. So what do y'all think about that? I mean,
but I think it's a reflection of who you are. I mean, when you put rules and stuff, like when you put stuff like that in place, it's a reflection of your personality and it's a reflection of your character. Do I agree with it? I mean, you choose how you live. You put standards in your house. It's just like, some people don't drink. They don't want nobody come in with alcohol or cigarettes. I mean, to me, it's just a standard of life that she chooses to do. So there's nothing right or wrong about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you know your standards and you're not going to tolerate things. I mean, so is there something wrong with her? No. I mean, people can make assumptions, but it's just like, if every time I see you with a cigarette, does that make you a smoker to where you're about to die from cancer? I mean, it's kind of like one of those things to where a person puts things in place to keep themselves in check. And I mean, she did that, and there's nothing wrong. Again, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's a reflection to where she did that for a reason. She did it so she wouldn't have to deal with a situation, because she knows if she has to deal with a situation, she's not going to probably handle it the right way. So
and why does it have to be questioned? Like you said, that's the rules that she has in her house. Why that has to be questioned? You know what I'm saying?
She knows her audience.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, you dealing with a lot of people who. That's the other thing. Personality will keep you in people's business.
Mm-hmm.
Character have you to mind your own business, because you're too busy working on what you got to do to be all off in everybody else's business.
Right, there you go.
So,
you hit it right in the nose right there.
Right. We can shut the whole podcast down now and go home, because that's really, when you look at people who thrive solely on their personality, they're always in something. There's always a problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's always some drama. They always got some, right. It's always because they're not building their character. I hear a lot of people, Marcella, to bring to your point, when you talk about women in their feminine energy, to me, that's a woman being in her feminine energy. We've lost touch of that, because part of being in your feminine energy is knowing that as a woman, you're a support. To support my husband, I don't need you in my house. You're not to support my husband. I'm supporting my husband. I'm supporting my household. I don't need outside influences on that level. When I'm single, never been married. Most of my friends that get married, we're not close anymore once they get married. And at first it used to bother me, but what I realized was they know how they were single. So maybe their issue has nothing to do with me, but them knowing how they were single. So, and if they don't feel like I'm a respectable single person, that's an opinion of a reflection of themselves, because I know that I'm a respectable single person. I know that I respect the covenant of marriage. I don't get into my married friend's business. But see, you don't know on the flip side what this person was doing when they were single. And so a lot of people judge your character based off of their lack of character.
And
what they've done. And so they put you in the same category as themselves. That's another reason, or how you can know somebody's living off a personality, because people with solid character don't even worry about if you're single, married, or Billy Goat or what, because you only going to infiltrate in my life as far as I want you to be, because I've got my rules and my standards and my character set to how they are. So what you bring that I don't like, I'm going to stop that at the pass anyways.
Right.
But see, when you're just thriving off personality, you don't know what you do or don't like. Pretty much anything goes.
Right.
I mean,
And that's what I say to me. And it's like what you said earlier is like when you get caught up in somebody else's livelihood. I mean, I mean you got that means you ain't got no life. I mean, it's just like I'm like this. As long as it doesn't interfere with my household, my relationship, I can care less on what somebody else is doing. And so when people get caught up in those, like, and I get it to where what a famous, and see, to me, my biggest issue with famous people are regular people.
Yes,
that's all it is. And so how they live and how they live their lives and what they do is no different than what we do. So it's like, so whereas when people make big deals about, oh no, look, they're taking the baby out for a first walk. Okay, that's normal. Why are we like? I mean, breaking news on CNN: baby takes first steps. I mean, okay, that's normal. It's like, so it's like, to me, when people blow up somebody else's lifestyles, they just want to gossip. They want to talk about stuff. So it's kind of like one of those things to where I'm not going to judge a person because they have strict rules. Like, if you come into the house, you got to take off your shoes. Okay, then that's just your rules. You got to take off their shoes. It's like, why make a big deal about it? Well, girl, they made me take off my shoes. What? Okay, well, don't go back over there.
Go back over there, right? And you ain't got to go back. You ain't got to live. It's no different than, like you were just saying too, with the celebrities. I've never been a hoo-ha person over a celebrity. I mean, really, like, I don't know what these people's character are.
Right.
I probably wouldn't even like most of them if I had to be friends with them. Now, do I appreciate a good song? I think we all do. But that's it. Shut up and sing. I'm like, shut up and dribble. Shut up and throw the ball. I mean, really, like, that's how they're making their living. I'm trying to live over here.
Right.
When somebody's concert tickets are too high, I don't go.
Right.
I ain't got to get on social media. Oh, it was high. Don't go.
I mean, I laugh at people. Oh, you paid $10,000 for a Beyonce ticket? Okay,
I do too.
I'm gonna laugh at you because
hey,
like,
all you gotta do is an hour to be on YouTube. So
I said, you know what I can do for $10,000? You know how many iPads that is for $10,000?
Let me tell y'all something. Janet Jackson had her highest grossing tour ever, right?
Right.
Guess why I think that was? Because her tickets were reasonably priced. So people didn't mind going to see her because she was affordable. So it goes back to, if you're reachable, then you're teachable.
Right.
If you are forging character and standing on characteristic principles and not just relying on one or the other, because like Eric said earlier, it has to be a balance.
Right.
Too much character on this side where you're trying to force yourself on other people is too much. Too much personality where you ain't forging your character is too much. Right. So again, it has to be a balance. Where you need to be focusing at is on what your do's and don'ts are. And how long are you going to just stay in personality mode? That's like dressing up for the Oscars every day and doing a performance. How long are you going to do that? And it's tiring. I like having good character, because when you have a good character, most of the times those are your people that are not liars. Now, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying. I just notice people who thrive off of personality tend to be a little bit out of this world. They not in touch.
Right. Call it what it is. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah. It's you go out, and it's always in your face. And then this will be the person you like, dang, I ain't even know they was depressed. Dang, I ain't even know. Dang, they did. Dang, what happened to them? You don't even know, because they done faked it until they made it for so long that they don't even know who they are anymore. And you meet the people who are like chameleons and take on the personality of whoever they're around.
Like, you take Perfect, and it was like what you just said. You take what was her name? I can't think of her name. Wendy.
Oh,
the talk show hostess, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams. You take her. That's a perfect example where she comes in and she talks about people and their lifestyles, and then bam, she gets hit with reality because she's just as bad as most of the people she's talking about.
And then now she got to have a breakdown.
Right.
But see, personality. She was a radio personality. These people are personalities.
They even call them that. They even
Right.
call them that. They call them personality. They don't call them radio characters. Why? Because that don't ring a bell in the head. Radio personality. Okay, well, let me hear what you got. No, that's bad. You might
I'm
wanna
whoever
forget
I
that.
need to be in that moment to get my point across. That's personality.
Right.
Character is I'm not getting ready to cross certain lines because I don't want you crossing over here into my lane
right.
on certain lines, right? But when you're again thriving on personality, those tend to be your messy people. I'm not being mean, but those tend to be your people who are completely messy and deceiving because they know how to come to you with a pretty package with a bow, but when you wrap it, ain't nothing in there. It's a
Ain't got
box.
nothing in
of
there.
Right. It's an empty box.
Poop.
And I done been jacked in the box too many times at this age.
Yeah.
I want you to wind your jack back down in your box and pop out on somebody else. Because guess
It's so
what?
bad.
Right.
It's so bad. You know how the jack you wind it a couple of times. Some people you wind it one time and go poop. It pop up the first time you wind
Right.
it. You be like, oh, okay, all right. I see you.
Right.
And your good character will allow you to see through the BS because I decided, like with the news, what I do is I just let notifications come up. I look at it and I scroll away because, little things like Mario alluded to earlier, like a celebrity bought her child first shoes and they were $5,000. So why are you so wrapped up with her spending this much money on a pair of shoes? That's her money. That's what she chooses to do. Why don't you just swipe up, swipe left, swipe right, close the window, do something? What does it matter what she do? Oh, she spent $5 on some shoes, swipe up, go somewhere else. That's what your good character say. Okay, that's on her. She's spending that money.
You ain't got none of my money.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
I ain't
Mario
paid no
got 5
$1,000 to go
Escalades.
see her. So if she want to spend $50 million, she can.
That's it.
It wasn't none of my $1,000.
No.
That's how I look at it.
There you go. And that's how I look at it. As long as
Mario
it
got
don't
5
impact
Escalades.
my
What he
money.
doing with 5
Hey.
Escalades? How can he afford it? What does it matter? He got them. That's his problem. Worry about yours. If you forging your character, you don't have time for 1, 2, 3, 4 up the street. You just got time for your address where you at. That's what your character is. Your address, your 5 feet of space. That's what your character is. That is the definition of character. Your 5 feet of space. Inside my 5 feet of space is my better half and my grandson. And my kids when they call. But I just say him because he's right here right now. But it's not worried about what you doing or worried about Mario doing. Why? Because we have 4 good characters. If you need us, you will let us know. Instead of us trying to be in your face, you good, you need something, you straight. No, you let them call you.
Right.
A closed mouth don't get fed. If you need me, coming. Mario know right now, hey, Eric, can you come over around by 8 o'clock? I got to do. Yeah, bro, I got you. Hey, Mario, can you come over here? I got a flat. Yeah, bro, I got you once the podcast is over. That's what good character breeds good character. You meet people with good character, but you got to work on yours first. If you got good character, you're going to attract people with good character.
Yep. And then we know, and then also too, and when you got good character, you know when there's bad character. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not gonna we're not gonna continue to be around that and associate ourselves with that. And we can spot it a mile across. You know, we can spot it a mile away. You know, it's like, wow, you know, this person is something else. You know what I'm saying? I choose not to. You know, y'all go ahead. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like when you want your peace too. Peace and character to me goes together too with me. Like when I want my peace, I don't care how many people are going. I can't do it. Y'all just call me later when y'all get done. You call me when y'all get done with whatever y'all doing. I'm good.
Marcel, y'all scoot your camera back. Your head is cut off. There you go. That's better.
Now we're good.
That's better. Yeah, that's better now. I was like, look, all we saw was we didn't see your eyes. All we saw was your mouth moving. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I said, we got to get you. I got to see everything.
Because you hear people.
That's better now. Yeah, that is better now.
You hear people say too a lot of times when I'm defending my character. So if you think about it, you only have to defend your character when someone's trying to offend you. So I've noticed when people thrive off of personality a lot, they stay offending people.
They have to say
But then
it.
when you
Mhm.
defend
Yeah.
your character, then you become the bad person. You become the
Evil.
aggressor. But it's the offender because they don't know how to defend their personality because or their character because they don't have any.
That's right.
And so all they know how to do is offend people with their personality. And so once they've offended you and then you defend your character, because see, this is what people don't understand. People who have character take it personally if you say they're a liar.
Mm-hmm.
People who have character take it personally if you start a rumor or say something about them that's not true. Now, here's the deal. What I've learned with maturity and wisdom is I don't have to confront you, but
Nope.
so then when you don't want to have anything to do with them, then they say that you're defensive. Yes, I'm defensive. I've worked hard for my character. I'm not going to allow you to call me something that I'm not when I know who I am.
That's right.
Okay. And so to me, people with character, as I start to be around more people that way, they're more careful about offending. If you're with a group of people and they're exercising in character, meaning that they're being of a good steward in your face and out of your face, you don't have very much conflict with those people.
No, you don't.
Because it's a level of respect that's there because
Right.
they know how to defend their character because they know who they are. And so they don't want you to have to defend your character, so they respect you. But when I'm breaking that thing down and looking at people with personality issues and no character, they see you defending your character as a problem. If me and Marcella have a disagreement and she says to me, Tisha, I don't like the way you said X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to get upset because I understand that she's protecting her character. Now, when you're dealing with people who are solely relying on personality, the conversation is going to go totally different. If they even say something to you, it may be everybody at the skating ring that knows what the problem is before you even know.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And
So
that's
true.
what I mean by I used to combine the two together. So I would stay in these intense relationships with people. And I was like, how do I keep getting here in these intense? Because I wasn't separating the people who have good personalities and the people who have solid character. I had them lumped together. Therefore, I was being pitted and drawn into their mess. Now that I separated, it's almost like 20/20 vision. I'm like, oh, that's why I was having so many issues.
Yeah.
And that's why over here with the people who have character, you don't have those issues. And it's not to say you agree with everybody in the character category, but it's not as much offending going on because everybody over here is just trying to be peaceful, right?
There's a level of respect.
Right.
You know, you agree to disagree. You're not going to agree on everything, but the respect, I respect your opinion. And okay, I respect yours too. High five. Hey, you want to go eat? Yeah, man, let's go eat.
Yeah.
That's that.
And then you got to also look at it
people
like
with personality issues like to poke the bear.
right.
And when the bear fight back, now all of a sudden you're not approachable. You're mean. You're mad. You always angry.
But you also got to look at it this way too: is most people who have personality issues are always craving attention.
Yes.
They're always
Amen.
looking for some type of attention. So they'll say anything, they'll do anything. It doesn't matter if it's a positive thing or a negative thing, just to get that attention. They'll make up a stuff. They'll make up a crazy scenario just so they can get attention.
Yeah.
And then when it's all said and done, it's just that one person took something out of character and blew it all the way up. Those are the troublemakers that just, like I said, they don't have a life. They want attention. They
Try to turn everybody else against
they
you.
want to be somebody else. They don't want to be who they are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're jealous of other people. They're unhappy with what they are or what they have. So it's just like it's a combination. So when a person has all those characteristics, it makes you can see their personality and their character linked together because they're just miserable. So they're going to make everybody else miserable.
Those are the ones that give ratings to all these news stories. The ones with bad personality, because I would rather, like Tisha alluded to earlier, I would rather see a pastor be human than be pastor, because people are getting mad because let's just use, for example, Kurt Franklin is dancing on vacation. He's a human. Yes, he's a pastor, but he's a human.
Right.
You will want him to release so he can be a better pastor for you, or a better person or a person of character for you. Why would he? He a pastor. He ain't supposed to be doing the electric slide.
So everybody that dances that's not a pastor is in sin. That's what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't what I was saying. Okay, then what are you saying?
Right.
The man.
So you got. It's funny you said that, because in the news here it is. You have this pastor that got caught with an escort in the news, and it was breaking news. And so, like, of course, when you choose that path of life, you have to understand there's a certain path you have to walk, and if that's not who you are, then you got to
don't choose it.
Right.
Some were called and some went.
Right.
If you were the one who went, then go. You know what I mean? So you got to know the difference. Accountability is accountability.
Yeah.
Again, character. A lot of great personalities preach.
Right.
That don't mean that you a good teacher or a good steward over your congregation. It's a difference. And I'll say this again, character, when we look at things in its entirety, I was looking at the Diedrich Haddon for his 50th birthday, when his wife was grinding on him. People took offense with his wife grinding on him. That's his wife. They can do whatever they want to do when they dance with each other. But what I respected about him was they just renewed their vows. Guess what? He didn't change up nothing. They were still grinding at the vow renewal, because people need to see that they ridiculed this man and drug him for his wife shaking her booty up on him, and had issues with it. Y'all doing worse than that, and y'all, this is this man's wife.
That was his wife, and I heard something about that, and I ain't even pay attention to it. So let me get this straight. You get mad at Sella for grinding on me at our vow renewal, my wife.
No, this was at his 50th birthday party. What I respect about him that 2 months later, they had their vow renewal over the weekend and they still grinding.
That's right.
And I like that about him and his wife, because guess what? They're being real. They're not hiding behind the church.
Half of them probably not even married.
Big character flaw right there. Big character flaw.
Probably not even married. Half of them probably ain't even married, and probably that grind on somebody else's wife.
But that's like church folk. Those are church folk. Those are
religious rules.
Those are religious rules, right? That's man-made religious rules.
Yeah, but he stood his ground as a preacher, and I can respect that, because he didn't fold into the, well, my wife and I are so. He said, no, we have fun.
That's right.
This is who we are.
Right.
That's my wife. He went out there grinding with some stripper or something. It was his wife.
Exactly.
So you would rather catch him at the strip club with somebody
to talk about,
right?
See,
right.
You can't talk about the wife doing it. She's supposed to, so that's why they got a problem with it.
But you gotta look at it like this. You got, like, just like the news. The news is so desperate. These major news, they're so desperate. They'll take an anthill and turn it into the biggest mountain in the world. I mean, and it's like, it is little petty stuff, and I think that's why a lot of people now don't even watch the news anymore, because it's like it no longer serves the purpose that it was supposed to serve.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'd rather take notifications than actually look at it. It's depressing. Stuff that don't even need to be in the news. Like you said before, baby take first step. That'll be on the front page.
Of People Magazine. Look, of People Magazine.
Yeah. Ooh. So and so took their first step.
Because society, people put people on pedestals. They feel like the more financial, the more higher you at as far as when getting the money. It's like you're up way up here. You see what I'm saying? So that baby first step, that's supposed to be a big thing, because they got like they worth 700 million. So that's something important. Like you said, like you said, it's all about, like you said, that's being real. It's like our babies took their first step. Mario's son took his first step. Your son, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and like you said, we don't worry about that type of stuff. You like you said, you just that type of stuff. Some things is not even worth being in the media.
I'll see people post about celebrity birthdays, but won't even post their own friends in real life.
Yeah.
Like I watch stuff like that. You'll sit up here and post every celebrity's birthday with a picture and everything, like you know them. But it can be your friend that you've been friends with for 20 years, and you won't even post a picture of that person and say happy birthday. But you'll put notoriety on somebody you don't even know, who don't even know your name if they passed you in the street. But we don't put the same type of value on having just a ordinary friendship with somebody.
Yes.
We need to get back to some fundamentals, because we're getting to that age where we're starting to pass away. Some people are going to look up and they're going to be alone.
Yep.
And I know people have spouses, but you got to have a life outside of your spouse and your significant other or your job or whatever. I value and appreciate my friendships. Therefore, as I forge my character, I try to sow seeds into the life of the people around me to help them forge their character as well.
Yeah.
And so I think another thing that we become selfish with is our gifts. We don't share information like we used to with each other as we get it. And that's a hindrance too in us being able to forge and develop character within our social groups or just period in life. You in the store now, most people don't even make eye contact with you for you to even smile or speak to them.
Right.
It's we've changed, and people keep trying to say it's the pandemic. No, before the adult timeout, we were already in that place.
Right. It's just the truth is coming out. Right.
Right. Yeah. That's just an excuse. We've been stopped. We've separated them and theirs and you and yours. But for me to have a strong community with character, I have to be bringing something to the table as well. Not just gossip and who shot Jane and what I don't like about somebody and this and that. What kind of conversations are you having in your friend circle? And then another thing, a lot of people with just personality are not good stewards over important information. They don't understand, for someone to share their hurts and their pains with you, that's not to be taken lightly. And a lot of people take that kind of stuff lightly now. That's for you to take that and pray with me. That's for you to take that and care about me and love me, not use it as an opportunity to go gossip. You know, so that's another thing I'm looking at with character too. If somebody can sit down with you and have a heart to heart, and y'all share intimate things with one another, and they can turn around and two-face you within a 30-day time period, or even the next minute, cut those
them off. Yep.
It's not even worth confronting them about anymore. Cut that person off, bid them farewell, wish them luck, keep it moving. I think we spend too much time on working on the negative people, and we don't spend enough time working in the circle to get things done with the people who are trying to get things done.
Right.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's why your circle, that's why most of the time your circles are small, because you don't want to waste your energy or time on the wrong people.
That's right. You cling to those, that are worth clinging to.
Right.
And that way you don't have to make the circle bigger, you don't have to do none of that. You can just maintain what you have.
Right.
Because it's easier for Mario to come to me and say, hey, blah 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 blah, as a person of good character and respect for him. I may not be the one to help you with this, but give me a minute, I'll call somebody. I'll call Tisha, or I'll call so and so, and he will do the same for me. That's out of my league, bro. But here's what I do. I'll let you know, and I'll let them know, and I'll call you back. All right, brother, cool. Instead of sitting there, go ahead and tell me, brother, I got you.
Oh, no, worse than that, Eric. Or, say that, then get off the phone and call Marcel. Believe Mario's supposed to be the expert DJ, and he's stupid. He gonna call me asking me about such a question. Right. Instead of understanding, Mario respected you enough to ask you this question. Now, are you gonna be a good steward over that?
Mm-hmm.
And I think-
You should feel very proud that somebody would ask you your opinion on something so important to them. See, that's respect right there, because knowing the type of person and the knowledgeable person that he is, shoot, I'll be beating my chest. Oh, he asked me a question. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do what I
go
gotta
find
do.
this out for my brother. Look.
I'm gonna give him the best answer I can.
You know,
Right.
it's funny that we talking about that. Like, you know, I mean, when my mom was living and stuff like that, because, you know, I learned to cook from my mom, my grandmother did. But when she was living, she called me one day and she asked me, she said, Sella. Now, my mom was a excellent cook. She was like, Sella, she said, how do you make your baked chicken? She told me, you make the best baked chicken. And that made me so proud, because I was like, the same woman that taught me how to cook want to know my recipe for my baked chicken. I was like, okay, all right, mama, hold on.
Sit down.
You know?
you got a pencil and piece of paper.
You know,
Come on
but,
now. It's gonna be a quiz
Yeah,
later.
like you said, yeah, that is so true, because it's like, and then Mario was talking a couple of days ago, and I was telling him something that was said about me, and I said at that time, it was a while back, that I was gonna go confront this person, right? But I was like, you know what?
Mm-mm.
Nah, I'm good.
Mm-mm.
I ain't my personality and my character. I'm gonna let them talk, let them say whatever, because everybody that knows me know that's not me anyway. So, you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna give this person the benefit of that. I'm not even gonna let them know that they got that much, whatever the word is, over me. So I decided, like, you know what? It's not even worth my time.
Sometimes
But
the
it's
best
human
answer
to
is
get
no
upset
response.
initially. That's human to feel
Yeah.
some kind
Yeah,
of way.
Yeah.
But
Because,
be able to-
because one
but-
thing about it, you attacking my character.
Character.
By
So you're
saying-
defending,
saying
right?
and I was gonna, you know, I was gonna go to that person, but then I thought, I was like, you know what? No, I'm good. I ain't even
The
gonna, like
character
I
speaks
said,
for itself.
yes,
Yep. No.
yep.
No response.
So after a
And
while,
then-
that yeah.
Yeah, because no response. You know why? Because people gonna get tired of hearing that person say the same thing. You haven't responded not one time. What's wrong? Why you keep saying that? She ain't never said nothing back. You the problem. Boom. There you have it.
Right.
Sometimes the best answer is no response. Don't respond.
But then you also got to know your audience, because in most
That's right.
cases, most of the time, these people are just looking for attention, and they'll
That's
say
right.
again, they'll say and do anything just to get attention. Doesn't matter if it's good attention or bad attention. They're just trying to get attention.
Don't even have to make sense.
That's true.
They just gotta get their attention. So
Because they're just talking to be talking when they're
Yes.
living in personality. They're not putting a thought process to who. Because now my thought process always, is that going to benefit me? Is it going to hurt anybody? Is it going to damage my relationship with someone? I look at the bigger picture, and then you learn to lead with love when you're dealing with character, because you don't want to offend. You don't want to be in the middle of anything, and you want to be able to be, again, a good steward over your relationships with people. So your whole attitude about it changes, because you're not trying to have issues. You know what I mean? So you approach everything with a diplomatic approach of, okay, how can I be of, service, and it took a while for me to realize that that's how I was getting used too, because people see you coming with that great big heart and all these skills and stuff before you get
That is
there.
so true. Yeah, that is
And
so true.
if I don't have any protective mechanism, meaning my character, my standards, my boundaries, and all I have is personality, then I'm going into a sinking ship. Look, you might as well because
Yeah, you are so right about that, because I'm telling you, that is so true, because I helped somebody one time, and then they started coming back to me often, and I had to, and after I had to stop it right there, because you're right. When you don't, they're gonna see this big old Kool-Aid smile. Marcella, she's a yes person. She's gonna, I can go to her. No, when you set boundaries, and when you stop it at that first time, then if they truly got your back and truly your friend, then when you tell them no the second time, that's when you're gonna truly know who you're dealing with personality and their character. You really are. That is so true. And somebody said something about the pandemic, how we always blame stuff on the pandemic. A lot of people, Tisha, a lot of people blame their marriages failing on the pandemic.
No.
No,
Them
really.
fuckers That should have brought you closer, in my opinion. Look,
No, the band just brought out the truth for who you were.
yeah,
That's all it did.
because
That's
to
all it
me,
did.
hey, if you home with them, it should have brought you closer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all had plenty of time to do some things, you know. But that was already a problem there, anyways. To me, if your marriage fell apart because y'all had to sit home with each other, and if y'all notice, people who are heavy on personality had a hard time during the pandemic because they go, and they don't know how to sit and be one with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, ain't nothing wrong with going, to each his own. But what I learned with going is, if you're gone all the time, how are you forging and developing a relationship with yourself? And how are you making sure that you're being healthy with your relationship with other people? Because you're always busy, you don't have time to think. So you just saying and doing stuff all the time. You're not really thinking about what you're doing. You're just doing.
Yeah. So true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Well, we're a little bit
at
over
an hour.
Yeah.
another hour. So I just, like I said, I guess we'll go back. I mean, we kind of nailed it real hard on this one. But just like the last closing things, we'll just go through what's better. Which one would you prefer? A person to have good character or good personality?
You got to choose one. I say a good character for me.
Okay, Eric.
Character, because that character allows you to see through a person who's only personality driven, and it'll tell you to stay away. And if you have good character, and people know you're having good character, you can speak the truth. You can say, Mario, if you was needed help, why didn't you call me? Tisha, if you needed some work, why didn't you call me? And then y'all knowing what type of person that I am, you're gonna sit there and listen like, yeah, brother, I should have called you. So that's why I would rather have character, because personality, hey, how you doing? I hate people, I hate life. No.
Let me know if you need something. My leg got broke. Let me know if you need something. You know, people say that to you quick, but I can truly say that during the time that my leg was broke, I'm telling you, the ones people came through for me. So I think because of who I am as a person too, because of my character, people came through for me, and so that's why, hey, you'll know when somebody really got you, let something happen to you.
Right.
Yep. When you're down and out, they tell you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back or who knows.
So Tisha, what's your answer to that?
Definitely character. I done had a lot of personalities. Me and the personalities don't work. That's why I ain't married now. Too many personalities. I might stand a chance getting a husband now because I can look at character a lot better. But them personalities, no, thank you. I'm good. Look, I'm good on the personality.
And me, it's like one final saying is, like I said, a character is always the reflection of someone's personality dealing with the world. So when you look at this person's character, it's the feedback of how a person is dealing with the world. And I think that's why character is more important than the personality, because the personality is internal, but character is external.
Yes.
It's how you interact with people. So I agree that your character overall is the best thing to look for versus a person's personality.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well,
ooh, that was a good one.
This was a good one.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, tune in next week where we're going to come up with a new topic, and we're going to be right back on it. We're going to stay focused. I know it's the summertime, and like who knows, we might have to go do some extra stuff because everybody's doing this summertime thing. So we'll see what's what. So y'all have a great evening, and we'll talk to y'all next time. There it is.